Hi, hello and welcome to another edition of Laying the Draw. I'm going to go over yesterday's results, Sunday the 20th, it's Monday the 21st today. And as you can see, we had another bit of a disaster. We lost another £8.80. So over the week, I know I did miss a couple of days because of Cheltenham. We missed the 17th and 18th. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 5 out of 7. We lost a grand total of £16.90, and there's only one day where we actually made a profit, and that was Saturday. So I'm going to go through the results from yesterday first, and then I'm going to discuss what the plan of action is next, because that's quite disappointing for strategy 2 for the week compared to the week before when I was doing strategy 1 typically. But you know, you've got to know these things before you dive in long term with a strategy. So we'll go through. We'll put on exactly the same number of trades, 17, as we did the day before, Saturday and Sunday, but the liability was even higher on Sunday, 147, and we lost £8.80. We had a £9.60 gain on Saturday, so it's probably a good idea to compare Saturday with Sunday and see how we got on. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit them both on the screen. I am. Yeah, I think that Sheffield United game was the first one on Saturday. Let's go up one. Yeah, it is. So what I'll do is I'll put that Sheffield United Barnsley game at the very top of the list here, because that's Saturday and this is Sunday. Now you can see on Saturday we lost 3 of the 17 trades, and we got a profit of, I think, was it £9? I'm a nightmare here. Yeah, it was £9.60 profit on Saturday, and we lost £8.80 yesterday. So excuse me, I'll just go back down. I'm having an absolute nightmare with this spreadsheet and mouse at the minute. Right, okay, so you can see on Saturday we lost 3 of the 17 trades. If we'd lost one more, say 4 of the 17, which is just under 1 and 4, we would have been slightly up still, depending on which game lost. Obviously, if it had been that Celtic game, that would throw in a spanner in the works, or the Bayern game, because the liability was 22 quid and 17.60. But typically, we're losing between £5 and £7 on the trades. However, on Sunday we lost 5 of the 17 trades, which puts us in a deficit. 5's just too many, to be honest. That should be amber. And that one didn't help, £9.20. Leipzig. I'm going to go through a few of these because I've got the actual scores and deals of what happened in the games on my phone. So, like I say, we lost 5, which is too many. These last 2 were absolutely awful. Sorry, it wasn't the last 2, it was that New York Bulls versus Columbus. New York Bulls were leading 1-0, favourites to win the game by far, and they let in a goal in injury time, from what I remember. I'm just looking at them now. Yeah, Columbus equalised away from home, underdogs in the 90 plus 5 minutes. So I think it was probably the last kick of the ball, because I thought we'd actually won that one, even though it was only 1-0 by the skin of our teeth. But as it happens, football's football, and we didn't. This other one, Willem, they were underdogs and they went 2-0 up against Alkmaar. Alkmaar pulled one back in the 35th minute, so before half time it was at half time it was 2-1. And then they seemed to hang on, Willem, until like 90 plus 1. And Alkmaar got an equaliser and it made it 2-2 in the 90 plus first minute. Yeah, so that was another one that was a bit unfortunate. this game here, I'm not sure what happened in this one. I can't remember this one too much. Just have a quick look. Okay, so that was ones each at half time. I don't know what happened in the second half, but it was ones each at half time and it finished ones each. So that's probably not so unfortunate, although a bit disappointing that the home team were favourites and they didn't win the game. This one should be amber as well here. I've got a couple of mistakes in the spreadsheet. And then these ones, Reims against Lyon and Leipzig, just no goals at all. I mean, this Leipzig one, they were 1.4 to win the game. They were at home. I'm not even sure. Just have a look at the stats on that one. Leipzig had 14 goal attempts and 7 on target. Against Frankfurt, I had 5 goal attempts and none on target. Possession 54-46, so probably a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, I didn't see the game or anything, but not much you can do in circumstances like that. I think we would have had another about £10 profit if we hadn't have lost these two. Well, yeah, these two games here that were actually drawn in the injury time in both games. So looking at down here, then you can see all the ones and zeros where we've won and lost on strategy 2 this week, or last week. You can see on strategy 3, if we'd done strategy 3, we'd only have lost 2 games, but what I don't know at this moment in time, because I haven't been looking, is what kind of profit or loss we would have made. So that's the plan of action for this week. I'm going to move on to strategy 3, and I've been researching a little bit, and even these 2 zeros here where we would have lost these 2 games because they finished 0-0 on yesterday, even those you can actually you can actually put some insurance down, like you can back like the 0-0 at a certain point during the game, so you know if it stays 0-0 you're going to win your back bet, and if there is a goal then you'll win your trade on this. I'm not going to do that this week because I'm going to look into it a bit more. I'm going to actually see how much profit there is in using strategy 3. So just for those who haven't seen all the videos, strategy 3 is basically entry point is the same as strategy 2, where we jump in pre-match. So we put our lay bets on the draw. I'm going to stick with £2 again. I had hoped to increase it by now, but I'm not comfortable or confident, which I think is a good thing. I think patience is a virtue in this game. You need to make sure I'm happy with the strategy before I go ahead, because obviously the first week strategy 2 looked a hell of a lot better than strategy 1, but last week strategy 2 sort of flumped compared to the first week, and strategy 1 was probably just as bad as well, if not worse, last week. Just had a bad week last week. What I will be able to do with strategy 2, because it's pre-game and post-game, I'll be able to get the odds and know exactly how much we would have won or lost when we're doing strategy 3. The problem I've had doing it 1, 2 and then 3 is that with 3 I've never known what the profits are, because the way 3 works is you enter pre-game, so the liability is the same here as strategy 2. So for example, if I'd laid £2 against the draw for PSV here, and the liability would still be £21, but what I'm going to do is, as soon as the first goal is scored, I'm going to wait a minute or 2 for the odds to settle, and then I'm going to cash out. And I imagine some of the cash outs are going to be negative, most definitely, especially where you know, you might have the underdog playing away from home and they score the first goal. For example, this game, yeah, I think Peterborough scored the first goal away to QPR. Now the draw lay was 4.1, so the liability was £6.20. Now I obviously staked £2. Peterborough scored quite early on, and you would have expected QPR still to come back in and win that game. But after the first goal, I suspect there wouldn't have been any profit at all there to take. But the exit point's the exit point. Once you define the exit point, you need to stick to it, otherwise you're not going to know whether the strategy's working or not. So in that one, I'd have probably lost. However, when you get the first goal going in, say late in the game, in the last 10 minutes, you should always profit from that. So it's going to be quite a interesting exercise, I think, to see how much I'd make on these trades. I'm half expecting, I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting quite a few to be negative, to be honest. So we'll do that. Starting today. I was going to show you which games I was going to get on today, but looking at this, there's not many at all today, with it being a Monday. You can see here we've got, in fact they're not today, there's only one there today. Bear with me. So click on today, go to football, click on today, and you'll see all the games. So this is now ordered by competition, basically. So you've got Colchester, Forest Green there. I'm not comfortable putting anything on Forest Green at the minute. I'm having a horrid time. They were strolling that league, and now they just look like they're trying to screw it up. But they are 1.97, so they do fall within the criteria, so I will be getting on that. So the idea there is we'll get on the lay the draw at 3.65 pre-game, or whatever it is when I actually go and lay the draw. The odds can actually change all the way up until kick-off. And then when the game kicks off, if there's a goal, I'll leave it, like I say, a minute or two, let the odds settle back down, and then I'll cash out, regardless of what the profit is. I'll record the odds when I cash out, just so we can try and assess the kind of profit and whether we then need to readjust the strategy. This strategy is going to be more time consuming, because if you remember strategy 2, we enter pre-game and then we just let it run until the end of the game, which I did have big concerns about anyway, because that's just a bet. Basically you're just betting against the draw for the whole game, and if it was 1-1 or 0-0, we lost the bet. So it does become a bet at that point. So strategy 3 is more trading, so it's going to take more time. I'm going to have to sit and watch these games as they go. But I'm just looking, there's not much else, to be honest. That one doesn't qualify. These ones have already kicked off because they're mid-game. And the under 23, there's not much at all tonight. I'll tell you what, I'll order by what you can do here on Betfair. You can order by time. So if I click on time, this is still today. You can see all the ones at the top in play. Once it loads, a bit slow. So there's 3 games there in play, and then you've got coming up. Now you can see they're starting in 20 minutes, 3 o'clock. It's Monday 20 to 2 at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look from about, say, 6 o'clock tonight or 7. Let's see if there's anything after that. The only problem I've got now is I don't know if these are cup games or not. I mean, there's a lot of under 23s here. I think that all the W's are women's, and RES will be reserve teams. I mean, there's not much football at all. And you can see, because the lower profile, the liquidity here you've got is, you wouldn't be able to put much on that game, for example. There's no liquidity in there really. I mean, we might still be able to get a £2 draw bet on, yeah, for that one. You know, if they qualified, this one does, because there's 1.86 there. Stoke under 23s are favourites there, so not the best night for football. I think what I'll do is I'll just do a sample of about 3. The problem is with only 3, when it's not going to tell us much. We need a good, I always think we need a good, like, double figures, 10 to 12 at minimum. Oops, I've just gone into a game there. I'll find some games, I'll put them on the spreadsheet, and I don't want too many anyway, because 12 is probably going to be too much on the first attempt anyway, because I'd have to sit and watch all 12 games at the same time. What I could do is spend, but it's going to take a while, is spend time I don't really want to spend from now until 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight just sitting. I was thinking about doing one game consecutively, so like one of these that's going to start in 20 minutes. I could jump on that one, for example. That one's installed 3 o'clock, which is an hour and 20. None of those three qualify there. I could jump on that one. I mean, the closer you get to the kickoff as well, even if it's a low profile game, the more money should be in the market. So I could just get on that one there at 4.6 and then exit when there's a goal. Also, I'm not 100% sure if some of these low profile games odds will be representative of higher profile when we start doing Premier League and stuff. I'll try and do about 3 today, and then I'll also have a look for the remainder of the week to see if there's anything more high profile. Just try and look now to see what there is tomorrow night. Right, okay, so we've got tomorrow night looks like we've got 1 League 1 game, 4 League 2 games, 10 National League games. Could try and get on the National League stuff, I suppose. And we've got National League North and NPL Premier Division. It's probably about 20-30 games there. Wednesday night we've got not a lot at all by the looks of it. It doesn't even look like there's any English stuff at all, because we've got the internationals coming up on with the World Cup qualifiers and also the friendlies, while the teams who want the national teams that aren't involved in the World Cup qualifiers will just be doing some friendlies. I think England got a couple of friendlies. I think the next good footballs, well, not good football, but the next batch of, after tomorrow night on Tuesday, the next batch of English football after that's going to be Saturday for the League 1, 2, National League, Northern League and NPL Premier Division again. I'll have a think about it. It might be a bad week this week to trial this, but it also might be good in respect that I can get my hand in and get involved in it just for the first few goes, really the first few trades, because it's going to be probably the first time I'm going to have to sit and watch over a match for 90 minutes and make sure I get out when the goal goes in. So I'll do that, but bear in mind we're not going to get on much this week, so we might have. I'll probably run it again next week as well. If there's any games next week, it might be some more friendlies going on, because they normally play a couple of friendlies. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll be back probably tomorrow just to go over what I've done tonight, and then we'll take it from there and see how much more we can do this week. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.